What up, everybody? It's your boy Avell Diddy back with another one. However you got here, whether you already subscribed to the channel, whether I popped up on your news feed, whether somebody told you about me and you checking me out for the first time, however you got here was meant for you to be here. So I appreciate it. Before I get started, if you could hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for the content. Y'all already know it don't cost a penny for you to help me grow. You did it? Cool. Shouts out to y'all. Yeah. Shouts out to everybody who keep hitting that like button, subscribe button, sharing the content. I truly appreciate it. So thank you. All right. Who we got up? We got my boy Ice Cube up right now. Yeah. So we got Cube up. And he was on the PBD podcast. You know, homeboy pretty cool. I watch a lot of his videos. And on this one, he had Cube on, and he was asking him some stuff. So the topics that he asked him about that I wanted to highlight was the first one is he asked him about how did he feel about Diddy and his Diddy being targeted. And then the second one that we'll watch is he's talking about Biggie and Tupac. So let's hear what Cube had to say.
Diddy, you're hearing Diddy everywhere. Okay. Yeah. So, did you ever have any kind of run-in with Diddy? Did you ever do anything with Diddy? Any projects you worked on with him?
He produced a few records, or had his producers do a few records on my War and Peace album, the Peace Disc. Yeah.
How was he to work with?
It was cool. You know, he, gave us great music.
I could tell by the way he was like, how was he to work with? He was waiting for Cube to be like, oh yeah, let me tell you my grimy story about Puff. He was waiting for it.
Music. We flew out to New York, and I was mainly in the studio with the producer. You know, he had a stable of producers, so I was in the studio with his stable of producers, and I think we did some great music. And you know, I really.
So let's look here. I think this is a list of the songs that was credited with that Diddy had some parts in. So it says here, War and Peace Volume 1. This was, if y'all ain't never heard War and Peace Volume 1, this was one of Cube's last complete albums where he was spitting that game like before the movies and all of that. If you haven't heard it, youngsters, y'all need to go check out that Ice Cube War and Peace. It's one of my favorite albums. Not the best, but one of my favorites of Cube. What does it say here? The album features productions by Buddha, ESQ Cube, K-Mac, NOE, Joe, and T-Mix. Okay.
You know, really kind of, lost contact with him and really stopped, dealing with Puffy around 94.
Yeah. Any specific reason?
Yeah, I mean, they was doing their thing, I was doing mine. And, I'm not the partying type. You know what I mean? I ain't never been to.
Here we go. It's like certain words when you mention Diddy's name, you know it's about to get started. He immediately was like, I ain't the party type. But I do got to say, Cube been married a long time, and I've never really known Cube to be out at parties unless he doing the show. And that's real.
A Diddy party. Ain't never really wanted to go. But I don't go to a lot of people parties. That just ain't what I'm in it for. You've been the one, you've been to them all.
Are you surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all? Or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer? Kind of like the mindset.
I'm surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? It's hip hop is the Wild West. So
you know what? To hear Cube say you can't be surprised about anything that happens in hip hop, he's actually right. I mean, now it's really the wild, and it's literally the Wild West because you got people blinking each other down, talking about it on record, doing time, getting unalive. You know what? Nowadays, though, it's probably shocking to hear about Diddy. Maybe that's because we hear more about kids unaliving themselves that has more to do with rap music than actually uh, um, intercourse parties. We don't really hear about women no more and parties. All we hear about now is guys getting together with masks on, having parties, blicking each other. So, yeah.
You're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and rating his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
You see that? I don't like that. You see that? That's the laugh of a man who's not black and understand what we go through and what we feel and what we know by intuitions that has been passed down from things that's been done to us. And yes, I feel like I don't like the way he laughing, because Cube is telling him something real. Yeah, I feel like he's being targeted. And I feel like he's being targeted too. I'm not saying that he didn't do nothing wrong. What I'm saying with Diddy is y'all been knew about this, but y'all never said nothing until it seems like he wind up suing the De Leon company. Then all of a sudden, like when we find out he's suing the De Leon company and all of this information comes out about how he say they racist, a week later, all of this information about Diddy just start piling and piling and piling. Of course he's being targeted. I don't like that laugh.
All right, so you think he's being targeted. So you don't think Shook said you can say what you want about Diddy, but Diddy didn't learn to like young boys. He learned it from a man named Clive Davis. He threw Clive Davis in there. It doesn't sound like you're part of that camp. You're part of the camp that you think he's being targeted.
I don't
see. He got it all wrong. He got it all wrong. Y'all hear what he said? He's saying because Diddy learned this from Clive Davis or whoever he learned it from, that means damn, I lost my train of thought for a minute. He's saying that just because Puffy learned it from somebody that he's not the one to fully blame. Yes, you are. You're the one doing it. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Yeah, but to be specific on any of this stuff, it's just all speculation.
Look how he laughing.
I just know he was cool up until a point, and then this stuff started happening. So I believe somebody,
they been new.
Said, yo, he's our new guy. We on this year or whatever.
In these uncertain times.
So it's like, look, yeah, these dudes are being targeted, and we got guys like him who seems cool, but he's sitting here laughing at the fact that like it couldn't be true. Like, oh no, he can't be targeted. You know what I'm saying? That has to be a lie. Now here's another one on here where he says Ice Cube's talk inside look at Biggie Smalls and Tupac's murder.
Sam Brown is a veteran.
All right, here we go, y'all.
Or no?
It depends on when.
I'm talking in that era, in that specific era.
Man, I had beef with NWA in that era. Yeah, we had beef. Above the Law. We had beef. You know, theirs was stemmed because they was loyal to Ruthless, and I had left Ruthless. We had a beef with Cypress Hill. More of a misunderstanding, but it still went down. And Common, it was a real misunderstanding. You know, I felt like he did a record that dissed the whole West Coast, so I felt like I needed to take up for the West Coast. But we got past that too.
Was it a combo? Was it a reaction? No, was it a face-to-face?
It was a face-to-face. Minister Farrakhan had like a conference. We brought in a lot of the rappers to try to work out some of these beefs.
Is this post Biggie or post Tupac?
Hey, am I that old? I remember when they all had got together and had that meeting, the East Coast and West Coast, because it was getting out of hand. So, but beef back then, still people wasn't just dying all the time like this. You might have got some fist fights. You know, somebody probably got cut every now and then. But it wasn't like every day a new rapper is getting unalived. It wasn't like that.
This is
post Biggie, right?
No. This is before.
Before both?
Before both. Yeah.
Wow, because I thought there was another one. You know, the whole when at the award ceremony when Diddy and Snoop are talking, and you can tell the look on their face. They're both a little bit worried that pressure could come back to them, and then someone tried to bring everybody together.
No, it wasn't. It was. I believe it was before that.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. And that's where Common and all that stuff was squashed.
Yeah, it was squashed. I promised that I wouldn't make another diss. Right? I had made a diss song. He made a diss song. I was ready to come back, and then we had the meeting.
Let's get to the part about Biggie.
I was like,
let's get to
one of y'all out, and it's gonna be blamed on the guy you beefing with, and not on the real person or party.
Makes sense.
So you beefing with somebody in public, and the whole world know now. Somebody who don't like you or don't like them can come in and do something, and really, you already know who's gonna get the blame.
Hey, y'all heard what Cube said right there. Like somebody else, two people beefing online, everybody knows, and then something happened to one of them, and it necessarily wasn't the person that they're beefing in public with, but somebody else, and you get blamed for it. What that sound like to y'all? Don't that sound kind of like, I'm not saying it, but it just sounds like something that Young and Ace and them is trying to run with the Julio Fulio thing. You see what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me of what he's saying right here.
Seen you say, and what happened to Tupac and Biggie, you said there was an assassination attempt on them too. I don't know what the word you used, but it may be that specific word that I'm using. You said on Tupac, it could have been something about what happened earlier in Vegas, that those guys just came back and took him out, where it's not like, somebody did it. But on Biggie, somebody may have taken him out, right? I think you said, correct me on anything I'm saying.
Biggie definitely was
we know of a
taken
big
out.
incident before Tupac being killed. So
you said we know or we don't?
We do. We saw the tape in Vegas where they were fighting.
Right.
So when that happens, you have to think about retaliation, and that's always a possibility. And so with the Biggie, he was just out in LA. Wasn't no big scuffle before. So, he was targeted.
I always say with the Biggie situation, after Pac got unalived, even though we all knew in LA that Biggie didn't have nothing to do with it, but everybody was looking for somebody to blame. And at that time, Biggie put out that song, Going Back to Cali. And even me at that time, it felt weird with him putting that song out right after Pac had just got unalive. That going back to Cali. And I took the song as disrespect, even though years later when I listened to the song, it ain't disrespectful. But still, nonetheless, that song came out, it was playing, and people was feeling some kind of way. And I don't think at that time he should have even been in California at that time, especially in LA.
I have a feeling how you're going to answer this, but I'm going to ask it anyways. You know, you look at Rogan. Rogan's fascinated with the John F. Kennedy assassination, right? So you're going around, you're doing interviews, and hey, let me see how this happened. I've interviewed a bunch of guys that were part of the John F. Kennedy assassination, just curious. Curious with what happened with Iran, you know, why I'm here, right? There's certain events with Jimmy Carter because it affects my personal life. So I'm curious, right? Yeah, hey, certain things happen with my life and marriage. My mother's side, they were communists. My dad's side, they were imperialists. So I'm kind of curious I spoke to a pretty higher up person from Iran on Sunday because I'm curious what's going on. I want to know what happened.
Get
it's
to
part
the
of my
point.
life. Mm-hmm. If somebody says Cube, I mean, you're on the in that phase. You're one of the faces. You're one of the biggest names from that, influential names. Mm-hmm. Did it ever, was the event that big enough where you're like, man, I really want to find out who took Pac out or who took Diddy out or Biggie out, or not at all? You're like, nah, listen, life happens.
That's the
I
powers
gotta move
that
on.
be.
If it's a choice between me finding out other things when I was a kid versus this, I'm going to let, God handle this. This is not my doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's events outside of my control. It's not my crew. And, I'm a spectator like everybody else. It's not my job or my mission to find this stuff out. My friend Kibo tells me and tells the world, and I believe it's some great advice, mind your own business and you live longer. So
That's a good point. Mind your business and you do live longer. And I've been minding my business a lot. So that's probably why I'm getting older. Yeah. So there we have it, y'all. I do honestly believe that Biggie was targeted. Diddy is being targeted. This guy takes it as a joke. But when you black, you understand when certain stuff happens to you. You just born with that intuition to know. So let me know what y'all think down below. Even though Diddy might be guilty, we're not saying that he's not guilty. I'm just saying he's being targeted. So let me know. They would know what y'all think down below. Do y'all think that Biggie was targeted? Diddy was targeted? Let me know what y'all think down below. All right. That's all the time I got for this topic. Please make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all already know I'm going to be back with some more reaction videos, some more news. So I'm definitely going to catch y'all on the next one. All right. Peace.